Let's start, well, how about here? Yeah, let's start here. Why not? This is from Yahoo News, and this has been reported. This was reported a couple days ago, but I'm usually ahead of the game. And suddenly, everybody started reporting this today and yesterday, and this. But this was from several days back. But here we go. Headline is this: What happened at Arthur's Stone? 5,000-year-old monument connected to King Arthur is being excavated. All right. That's where we begin tonight. Listen to this. This is pretty cool. Some say King Arthur slew a giant there. Others say he knelt in prayer and his knee print indentations are forever etched into the stone. Archaeologists set out to find what really happened at Arthur's Stone, a 5,000-year-old Neolithic chambered tomb in Herefordshire, England, near the border of Wales. If I mispronounced that, I'm really sorry to my British friends. I can't do it. On July 1st, a team of researchers began excavating this site, said Julian Thomas, an archaeology professor at the University of Manchester, who leads the project. They'll be on site for the next 4 weeks, so we'll see some interesting things happen and come out of this, I think. But here we go. Continue from the article. After looking at other sites in the area, researchers realized there was probably much more activity than they initially thought. Quote, "We found that there were more expansive traces of the monument," Thomas said. Thomas said his team found evidence of a small, low turf mound with a timber palisade around it, as well as traces of an avenue of upright timbers and a series of post holes, which could indicate the presence of a ceremonial path leading to the monument. Team member Mary Elizabeth Ong said their findings contrast with what she learned about people's movements. Quote, "What we have is evidence of the fact that these people were here way before it was originally reported to be." And that doesn't surprise me. We talk about this often on Troubled Minds that, a lot of the archaeology, anthropology, they're working with a very tiny, limited data set because you just can't dig up the entire Earth. Because if you did, apparently you would find some oceans. And we're going to get to that in a moment. But the thing is this, right? So regarding Arthur, in this actual stone, they call it Arthur's Stone. And if you've seen the photographs of this, it's pretty impressive. It is sort of like a Neolithic structure. It appears like a table. It's got kind of two settings and like this long 13-foot slab kind of across the top. And it looks very much like a stone table. And for those of you C.S. Lewis fans that know what I'm talking about, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, this was actually the stone table that inspired the, spoiler alert for an old book here, but that inspired the stone table and the sacrifice and that whole situation with Aslan the Lion. If you remember, a deep magic from the dawn of time. Remember that chapter? I do very, very well. It stuck with me, and it was one of those things where I still remember it, including I don't think it was the next chapter, maybe two later, that was called Deeper Magic from before the dawn of time. In any case, this is pretty cool that it's linked to King Arthur. Again, it's like a 5,000-year-old Neolithic thing because, King Arthur, they say, dates back to 400 AD, something like that, as a true king or barbarian warlord or something of the United Kingdom, or Old England if you prefer. So in any case, look, so this is the way this is. So we're starting here, but it got me thinking in a lot of terms, as usual, because this is a fun story. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. We got Merlin, we got Morgan Le Fay, we got Mordred, we've got the Lady in the Lake, we've got Excalibur. I mean, there's so many fun elements to this story. And I saw this article and I thought it would be a damn shame if we couldn't make a Troubled Mind show out of this, because this is so fantastic. This is just one of those things that sort of harkens back to that, adventure in the hearts of mankind. That is, it is King Arthur. It embodies it, including, Lancelot, Percival, the quest for the Holy Grail, which actually we're going to get to the Holy Grail tonight, and we're going to get to something known as the Cauldron of Immortality. So hold me to that, because we're definitely going to get there. So that's where we start, right? This idea of King Arthur and this Neolithic 5,000-year-old monument, they're excavating this thing, all right? And so here's where it did lead me sort of down this rabbit hole of the inner Earth ocean. So I'm gonna explain. There's way too much, so I'm gonna have to sum up here, and then we'll get into this, and I got some questions for you tonight. So, of course, so with Arthur, the Arthurian legend of finding the Holy Grail itself, right? It was not originally known as a grail, the Holy Grail. That stuff sort of came, more toward the Renaissance and the rest of this stuff. But in the old days, it used to be known as the quest that Arthur took was for the Cauldron of Immortality. Okay, and the cauldron is an interesting thing because we see them in the what was it, Macbeth and the witches and the bubble toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. I didn't look that up, so if I mess it up, sorry, but I'm just going from memory here. But there's these witches around this cauldron, and they're stirring the whatever like foul liquid is inside this thing, and casting spells and putting reagents into this. And well, the interesting thing about cauldrons in particular is they have a Celtic background in that they were not just sort of like cooking and like a magic spell sort of thing, but the cauldron itself and that level of water, of liquid water on the top of the cauldron actually, and the magic spells that go along with it, were used in terms of a portal, right? Okay, so the cauldron, water, portal. We've been here before, have we not? Talking about water and talking about portals and talking about that stuff. Where's Derek when you need him? What's up, Derek, out there? So that's the thing, right? That's where we begin tonight, because it got me thinking in terms of not just that. I was like, okay, so how are we going to link this to some other story, some other news story, some other narrative or thread that we can kind of chase down and have a lot of fun with tonight? And I found, wouldn't you know it, right? So follow me again. King Arthur, cauldrons, water portals in the cauldron itself, all right? And of course, the Cauldron of Immortality, which was the early basis of the quest for the Holy Grail, okay? All of this, you see where I'm headed. Now,